Radiant team ban.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Yard G2A Festival, the third and final game between Goomba Gaming and Burden United here on hitbox.tv/yardfest. I'm Mikelorus, one of your casters. I got MRP Dota still here as well, and man, last game was pretty stark contrast to game one. Seems like BU with their full lineup can certainly put the screws to Goomba.
Yeah, they definitely did. I feel like both games were kind of a case of the teams just playing really well around their draft. I mean, we both touched upon it. Felt like that fifth pick, Viper, was a little bit underwhelming, didn't synergize necessarily too well with the remainder of the lineup for Goomba. We'll see if they're able to pick their socks back up in this game 3 and put together a good game. Both games thus far, as you mentioned, been pretty lopsided.
All right, so hopefully for an even game 3, we're going to have that. But also, guys, real quick, there is supposed to be another game that is, well, scheduled for pretty much right now. Basically unknown. The other BU versus XPC will be coming right after this series. But obviously we can't start that one without finishing this one first. So a little bit of an awkward timing there. But if you're here for that game, it will be coming up. You just have to sit through this game first. As well, we're off to a very, very slow draft, actually. As Sniper and Lena to be banned out. If Troll isn't banned here, I'm pretty sure he's going to be picked. That's just pure speculation, but I have just that feeling, you know?
Has been banned in the past 2 games and picked up in pretty much every game ever in the last month that he hasn't been banned early on in. So Sniper is going to be banned out here. Necroman not going to be able to pick that up as he did in the first game. But either way, looking pretty good for the first pick side here, as that Lena ban did come out from BU.
Alright, so BU did some pretty good work last game with the Spirit Breaker, with that Shadow Demon combination as well early on. It's really hard to ban those types of heroes out, so really for Goomba, I don't really know how much the previous couple of games are going to be impacting their bans right now. Phantom Lancer is going to be the ban out, and I think still at this point, despite the kind of decent performances in the last game, they should just stick to their guns. And oh my god, would you look at that? Troll Warlord first pick. No one ever saw that coming. It's actually Goomba to ban out the IO themselves, which is actually kind of weird. You would expect that to be banned out by Burden, if by anyone at all.
Yeah, so they'll take that out of the pool. They'll take out Sing Sing's PL for the second game in a row. We'll see what they open up with here. Still a lot available to them in the pool. Nicer Dicer Juggernaut for a third time in a row. Hopefully not, but either way, see what they open up with this 1-2 into the Troll. Perhaps we see some sort of illusion-based hero for them themselves, but banning out the PL doesn't leave them too much left. It looks like they go, I believe, identically with game 1 in this opening.
Yeah, there's something similar. It was Storm Spirit something. Storm Spirit's been getting a lot of love from both of these two teams, and well, we saw the impacts of Storm Spirit in the previous 2 games, so I think all of that love is so far justified. Batrider and Venge still going to be left in the pool, maybe a team wanting to secure those up in the future, as Burden United pick up the Skywrath Mage. It's not been touched in the previous 2 games, but up against Storm Spirit, this is really the type of hero you need. Both sides really were low on their Storm Spirit lockdown in the games that they were going up against Storm Spirit. So now it's nice to see Storm Spirit instantly responded to by a hero. It's not really the best hero. I think Lion is probably the best hero, but Skywrath Mage can definitely get the job done.
Yeah, unfortunately with the stream delay, they couldn't get our calls out for the Skywrath last game, but they'll get it in for the 3rd time we see the Storm Spirit come through this series. Necroman doing a lot of work on it in game 2. RMN doing arguably even more in game 1, so we'll see if he's able to get any traction under his heels in this 3rd game. Still is a nice opening for Burden United. Skywrath going to be a little bit susceptible to the burst damage from the Lion and the Storm, however, so he is going to have to position himself very well.
So now we see a little bit of the shades of the previous games coming into play. Broodmother, maybe not as much so, but the Spirit Breaker, played by Bradata, that was just set up so many kills for Burden United in the previous game. With Troll Warlord, especially, that synergy is insane. And then we have Chill's Undying, which had a pretty good performance off in game 1. So a lot of metagamey picks going on right now as the Venge is banned out to pave way for, surprise, the Batrider. So Goomba with initiation and then some.
Yeah, and Troll naturally a BKB builder, so the lasso piercing through that is a very nice a second set of initiator for Goomba, or initiation I should say. The Storm Spirit will be able to jump in onto him prior to picking up that BKB. So really potent lineup from Goomba in terms of the pickoff potential. They are going to need some sort of perhaps late game insurance policy here going forward, but the Zeus going to be picked up with the Burden. This is a combo that we mentioned last game looked pretty good for Goomba, but they opted for the Viper instead. A lot of burst damage to the Skywrath Zeus combo.
If you get an Ancient Seal on anyone on Goomba Gaming, they're most likely going to die, living armor or not. It can only do a little bit to help you when you're taking so much magic damage, but they are pretty much going to go not completely all in, but very much so in on their Storm Spirit. They still are probably going to look towards that late game damage dealer. Juggernaut still looking pretty good here for Goomba if it's not banned out by Burden. But Treant Protector, Lion, as far as aggressive duos are concerned, you can certainly do a lot better, but at the same time you could do a lot worse, and they have a whole bunch of defensive power as well. So Storm Spirit is going to get an easy time since BU, I mean, the Scythe Mage is nice versus the Storm Spirit, but still outside of that, Zeus is going to have no forms of lockdown into the Storm. Troll Warlord will most likely not have any lockdown in the Storm Spirit, so Storm is still going to have a pretty easy game to just roll wherever he wants to.
Yeah, and I really love this Treant pick on top of the Batrider Storm Spirit. He's going to act much like something like a Zeus, a Night Stalker, anything that's going to give you vision. He'll be able to run around with that Nature's Guise, a Beastmaster Hawk, reminiscent of the Beastmaster Hawk, and he's going to give vision to both the Storm and the Batrider to find probably the most ideal targets for their pickoffs here. So love that pickup. Also allows them to sustain in lane a little bit, maybe look to put that Lion in the jungle, get him a little bit of extra farm early on.
It's going to be an Axe pick for Burden United, and I mean, it did do, Axe just in general has been a pretty solid hero. Did do some pretty good work in the last game for Goomba. But BU, they have the combos right now. They got Skywrath Mage now set up by an Axe. Blink Call, not exactly the fastest way to initiate, but it is able to pull people out of that Nature's Guise, and you can grab onto the Storm Spirit. And with the Mystic Flare, you'll be able to bring him down in quite a hurry. So as an offline hero, it's a pretty safe pick to make here from BU. It's probably not going to have the best of times. Treant Protector hitting very slow yet very hard is a great hero to have versus Axe in lane. But still, it's an Axe, and if you are in trouble in lane, you just go to the jungle, and then you'll probably be fine to farm up.
Yeah, one thing I do worry for a bit for the side of Burden United is that they picked up this troll just because it's kind of the strongest hero available in the pool at the time, and they haven't really drafted around it necessarily. There's really no one that benefits in their lineup thus far from the Battle Trance. I do expect the Zeus to be a core, and it seems like Goomba did as well, banning out the Venge and the Night Stalker. So not sure how effective that Battle Trance will be for the entire lineup. Certainly it'll help the troll Solar Roche and accelerate the push, but either way, feels like there's a little bit more synergy between the heroes on Goomba's lineup.
Yeah, but even like going for that Solar Roche, though it's possible for the Troll Warlord, he won't have much minus armor coming out from his allies to really help that out. Usually it's Troll Venge or something like that, so you get the Wave of Terror, you get a Medallion pickup early on. Really, for BU, none of these heroes really typically go for Medallion. It's always good to pick up on anyone, really. Like, it's not a terrible item by any stretch, but the Troll Warlord, it looks like he's going to just be on his own, and that's fine in some situations, as long as you have damage output coming out from your other heroes in other ways, and Zeus and Axe do have their methods there. It's going to be a Slark ban out from the BU side. Having to deal with Slark with Treant Protector armor is just the most obnoxious thing in the world. They do have the Skywrath Mage and Axe already. Looks like they just don't want to deal with that. Is it bad of me that I'm just assuming Goomba are going to pick up the Juggernaut again? It still seems like a pretty good pick.
It does seem like it works here. He's a little bit of a mobile hero as well. If he picks up an early blink, he can jump in with the Storm and the Batrider, or they'll just drag them into precarious situations where he can get off some good Omni Slashes. Nicer Dicer's been solid on the Jug, so I wouldn't blame them necessarily for picking it up. The Magic Immunity plus the Living Armor is pretty damn nice as well. From the spin, but just a little redundant. Maybe Nicer Dice are looking for something else to be played here. They could opt for something like a Dusa. It's pretty tanky up against the Magic Burst with all her stat gain or stat builds in terms of her items, and she can also allow a lot of extra physical damage with the Stone Gaze. So they'll go for physical damage, though, necessarily with the Drow, and an extra silence going to be in their toolkit as well.
And Goomba have so many ways of controlling BU away from this Drow Ranger. Already BU don't really have many great ways at jumping in on this Drow Ranger. Eventually a Blink Axe, maybe a Blink Troll Warlord as well. Chen certainly isn't going to be doing that anytime soon. But for Goomba, they could give the Jar Ranger armor, they could Bat Rider people away from the Jar Ranger or put people in range of the Jar Ranger. Storm Spirit's going to provide a lot of distraction. They have stuns from the Lion and the Treant Protector Overgrowth. So many tools with which the Jar Ranger can play around with and really just position herself perfectly in those fights. BU, it doesn't seem like they have enough brute force to get straight in towards their Jar Ranger. If they're going to kill her off, it's going to be because they initiate on her first. And the odds of that happening up against what Goomba have with so much vision, with the flying vision of the Bat Rider, of course, with the Treant Protector invisible scouting as well, it seems a little bit unlikely. So BU, they're actually stuck on like a purely aggressive track simply because they can't really easily contest this Jar Ranger late.
I mean, maybe they get some lucky Centaur stomps or nets off on these initiators on the Storm or the Bat Rider. They helps with the push out a little bit as well, having those extra units, but not sure how much the Chen is going to do in this one. It's a little bit of a greedy pick from them as well. If he's farming up the jungle, the Axe is going to have to stay in lane probably a little bit longer than he would like to, so we'll see how it pans out for BU in this decider.
This was also like not a hesitant pick by BU at all. They see the Jar Ranger, they instantly snap up that Chen. So they really do want to play this game aggressively, and it's really going to depend, I think, on how well this Zeus does. If he has a mediocre time, the team is going to have a mediocre game. But if he has a great time, he can offer that burst power. And really, Chen, his pushing, yeah, it's dangerous, but his pushing backed up with Necroman's damage. That's where the real threat comes in from BU. So they're going to need Necroman to have a decent time. And up against Storm Spirit, I think it's not too impossible to assume this Zeus is going to have a relatively decent time. But yeah, I don't know. Come With Me and Minuts as the two supports, they'll have to do their best to try to make sure that the rest of the heroes have at all a hospitable time in those lanes. Because as you said, if Axe has a bad time, he's just going to have to suck it up or deal with a split jungle. And that's never really what you want to do. Sharing the jungle is mostly out of desperation.
Yeah, so, I mean, at the end of the day, both of these teams kind of going all in on their strategies. Very pick-off-oriented strategy coming out from Goomba. The split push available to the Drow as well, especially if she's able to pick up Shadow Blade or a Blink. And BU just looking for all-out aggression, not going to look to split up too much to allow Goomba to find those pickoffs.
Well, we're in the third and final game, guys. Winner moves on, loser is out of the tournament. And let's see who's going to be playing what. For the Goomba side, it's going to be a Moment leading the way as Treant Protector boots first. Chill has the Bat Rider with Nicer Dicer on the Jar Ranger. Our man's going to be playing the Storm Spear with Edie on the Lion, and they're going to move very aggressively into the enemy jungle.
Yeah, for the side of BU, Come With Me out front could be in a precarious position on the Skywrath Mage. The rest of the lineup towards mid, that's Beaver Knight or Sing Sing on the Troll Warlord. Necro going to be picking up the Zeus in the mid. Minuts on the Chen, and finally Saksha going to be playing the Axe in the offlane.
So Goomba, not with the intention of making any blocks of these camps. They're just looking for blood right now. They're going to run into Necroman, who's going to see everyone incoming. Boots first. Tar is going to land, and maybe I think BU are going to be fine. They need the stun to land from Edie, but it looks like he's just a little bit too slow. He was not the one to grab Boots first in a moment. Was not at a great angle to actually close in there. So a massive smoke in from Goomba, not really resulting into too much. Maybe they're going to force some sentries out, because if the enemy makes an aggressive rotation that's that aggressive, you could assume that your camps are blocked, but no, they're all just completely fine. So Minuts has a free and clear jungle, and that smoke from Goomba, though it was scary for BU, I'm sure, really didn't accomplish that much. For bounties, it's actually Treant and Storm to grab, and Necroman getting beaten down by a Moment. With living with the Leech Seed as well as Boots of Speed, Necroman, the best he can hope for is a Roshan denies, trying to juke in the Fog of War. Baradaz's trying to get in front, but the call being forced out. Looks like Necroman will live, albeit barely. Or will he? This tree is pretty fast, and it looks pretty angry, and Zeus's legs are pretty small. Moment is closing in, looking for another Leech Seed. Necroman is still being chased down. It looks like he will find cover under his tier 2 tower. But Zeus, he was rushing up a fast bottle. He was really dependent on this bounty rune to get him that bottle. He has to base. He has one tangle left, and this is a free lane right now for our man. He's already level 2. Yeah,
this is a very clumsy chase coming out from a Moment, but suspenseful nonetheless. Saksha in a little bit of a risky position here, but looks like a Moment not going to be willing to dive under the tower, and warranted for sure. But RMN, he did a lot of work on this Storm in game 1, and already with this early advantage, as you mentioned, it's going to be a very scary lane for the Zeus.
Oh man, Necroman has to get Tangos. I mean, he buys Tangos. He has to get a TP scroll from I think, one of his teammates, because he still has a very similar amount of gold, but he's now in a 2-level disadvantage already versus RMN. Yeah, this is a decent lane to start things off for Necroman, but that start that I was mentioning earlier is not going to be anywhere near good for Necroman, as RMN's going to be walking all over him in lane. Zeus is going to get, his levels, of course, because it's a 1v1 melee, or 1v1 mid matchup. But Storm Spirit, he's applying a lot of pressure to the Zeus already, and once level 6 closes in, Necroman is going to be at the Storm Spirit's mercy. So I think it's about time for MyNuts to consider helping out this Zeus, because the Zeus desperately needs help.
Chill is going to catch a conk shot as well as the range whirling axe's top lane, but he should be just fine here. The arcane bolt, though, he only needs one more from Come With Me, and actually just a right click going to be enough. Come With Me well positioned there to the south, and Chill with no disable in the lane, getting a little bit arrogant perhaps, feeds over that first blood.
Against no disable as a Bat Rider, you really shouldn't be dying. Maybe the burst damage, sustained damage from the Skywrath Mage surprises them a little bit, but really, it's Bat Rider versus Skywrath Mage. You should have played that one a million times, especially in this patch alone. So, Skywrath Mage is going to be lucky enough to draw that first blood gold, 600 gold on him. And, well, he's pretty happy with that, but he already has boots first, so no huge increase in power from Come With Me. Yet, regardless, shutting down, slowing down this Bat Rider's blink is going to make it a lot easier to go for the Drow Ranger kill in the future. And Bat Axe, he's having a decent time in this bottom lane by himself. Has a couple of illusions scouting out, blending up Edie, but really this Treant Protector hasn't been doing much as far as pressuring this Axe in lane.
Yeah, it's something we mentioned in the draft that they will have the ability to make the use of their jungle, knowing that MyNuts is overdoing the same thing in the Dire jungle. It's a very nice kill for the Skywrath as well, being that he can't really use the stacks and the pulls for himself, seeing as how MyNuts needs them. So, yeah, it's nice. It's very nice for BU that Saksha is doing as well as he is. Frost Arrow's level 2, though, now on Nicer Dicer. They're going to put a little bit of harass into this Axe, but he's just fine, more than tanky enough at this point, and does have quite a bit of regen available to him.
Always fine to survive, but he's dropping very, very low, and that's going to happen pretty much always. Not much mana spent there from the Goomba side, and with what I'm assuming to be a Ring of Aquila coming up on Nicer Dicer, they will have all the mana they could possibly want to just lay into that Axe all the time. He's not going to be able to get up to the creep wave for many last hits. He's sure as hell not going to be able to apply pressure to this Drow Ranger in lane. Not like you would expect your Axe to do that, but still, this Axe needs to get his Blink Dagger, and though he's getting experience, that's only really part of the puzzle. You need both of them. MyNuts is smoked up, however. This is his first rotation, and he might run into Edie down in the South River, but this Lion is ready with boots. He has the Spike, he has Storm with him as well, but he'll use that Spike onto the Axe, Invis Rune grabbed by the Storm Spirit, and he'll get pulled out, though. There's a lot of damage here from these creeps. Our men getting focused down will die. The Axe is going to charge forward towards the Drow Ranger, looking for another onto Edie. I think he could have just ran away to the left instead of suiciding there, which is kind of weird. And Edie should be fine, so yeah, that was... I don't know about that Axe play, but they get the kill on the Storm Spirit, and that is so important for the Zeus.
Yeah, RMN kind of odd there, stands still for a moment and then doesn't really juke the call. He should have known that was going to be coming immediately as the Hex expired, but that's a big death going the way of Goomba, and BU going to give a little space to Necroman to recover after a very scary start for himself. RMN even going to retreat into the jungle. He will find his ball lightning here, though, so very scary times for Necroman, especially with the living armor being available to allow RMN to dive a little deeper.
But MyNuts is now kicking into gear. He has two creeps that are pretty much ideal creeps at this stage in the game, and he's looking for blood. Tried the Drow Ranger again, wasn't quite able to find that one. Now he's going to find another Hellbear, and our man is, well, going to spot that one out, so luckily for him, he's going to dodge any sort of aggression right now, even with Ball Lightning, not entirely safe at this stage in the game. MyNuts is just going to apply a lot of pressure to Nicer Dicer, and if this Drow Ranger has a restricted farm, well, first of all, it's a Drow Ranger with no farm, but second of all, this Axe is going to have a lot easier time, and up towards top lane, there's actually no one here, so Sing Sing is also having a complete free roll up on this top lane. For BU, these lanes, although they started out absolutely terribly, are turning into not that bad situations as they dive in for Nicer Dicer. Thunder God's Wrath to spot everyone out. They know that she's alone. Stomp gonna miss, however. Now deep into the tree she goes. She has an Axe, and she has a Tango. They'll spike up the Axe, and with the call there, Axe not even gonna be able to get that one out just yet. He's hexed up first, but he still can spin even when hexed up. He's gonna get the call in the end. Drow Ranger down. However, it will be at even exchange for the Chen, and Axe has got to try to escape now. Has a Calling Blade, just wants to catch up to Edie, but of course Edie knows about this. We'll turn around for a spike, and we'll get that kill in the face of death. It's a 2-for-1 in favor of Goomba.
Yeah, Minot's trying to occupy the enemy jungle, but with the Storm Spirit scouting that out, they're well aware of it. TPs are a bit late to save the Drow, but either way, they get a decent trade out of it. It's a 2-for-1. They do lose their safe laner, but Nicer Dice are going to be able to get right back into lane and continue farming.
And that Zeus ultimate.
Top.
Oh yeah, top. It's Beaver Knight to get into a fist fight with Chill. Even trades there, but that's actually really nice for the Bat Rider. First of all, I mean, that's a good trade, Bat Rider for the Troll Warlord. But also, Bat got the kill first, so he's going to get a little bit of extra experience. And so level 5 versus almost level 5, almost level 6 Troll Warlord, that really shouldn't be happening, honestly.
Yeah, Skywrath abandoning his compadre in lane for just a moment to join up with Saksha's axe, and taking advantage of it is Chill's Bat Rider. So that's, yeah, as you mentioned, very nice pick for him. He'll be able to retreat to the jungle fairly soon. Is still a little bit off of his Tranquils here.
Well, he has a couple of stacks, though. The Treant has been jungling for the good portion of this game. He's level 5 without doing too much in lane, though. They'll run into the Bat Rider, concussive him down, call looking for it. But the axe will be forced to fall back. They have no Mystic Flare. If they did, then they would have gone for that for sure. But instead, they'll fall back, knowing that they have incoming support. It's Minot who smoked up, but up towards top. Beaver Knight, once again, in a little bit of trouble. Jumped on by Armen as well as Edie. He will salve up, and Necroman has rotated in as well. I don't think they have enough burst to kill off Armen, but they will force him out of the lane. At the same time, they're going to steal the stack that has been created for the Bat Rider. A pretty nice win overall for BU, unless they lose someone here. And with Treant coming in, they're in a corner right now, BU. The axe taking a lot of damage, has a call right now, will try to race a moment, but he's attacking slowly. He's not getting any spins, will try for the call, will whiff that one. Moment's still alive, the Thunder God's Wrath will kill him off. Come with me is going to be an even trade there. It's once again a 1-for-2 as BU. They clear out the stack of creeps. Was that worth it? I'm not really sure.
Yeah, it's a hurt towards the Bat Rider, I guess, but feeding the 2 over with RMN being present is not ideal for them by any stretch. It also gives Edie almost level 5, which he picks up now in the lane, and it's a lot of time wasted from Minuts' Chen rotating over to no avail. He is level 6, so does have that Hand of God now, but they are going to need to look to ball up pretty soon off the back of some of these ultimates, and Axe dying there is going to delay his Blink Dagger, which delays the 5-man.
And his Blink Dagger was already not going to come up at a super fast timing. Still, Necroman as well as Minuts are looking for blood over in the enemy jungle, but if they do find someone, it's going to be way more than they actually bargained for. This Drow Ranger is dishing damage, plus 25 to all the friendly range heroes, and BU, they're just awkwardly shuffling around the jungle with these 2 heroes, Chen and Storm doing nothing except for pacing back and forth. I guess Sing Sing's getting some farm in the meantime, but now they'll look to reinitiate onto a Moment who actually initiates for them. Come with me, though. Gonna die in an instant, though, to this Drow Ranger damage. Can they get the Drow in response? Living Armor is there, and the Nature's Guys. They see the tree. He's gonna run straight into Necroman. Bolt is there, plus Arc Lightning, but all these CC forms, where are they? There they are with the net, as well as that Stomp. Gust is there, but it's a little bit too late. They get the Tree and Protector. Probably an even trade, though. It did take BU, a lot of time to actually get into gear with that fight.
Yeah, Sing Sing rotates over into the jungle, though, so his farm hasn't stopped. It's not the worst turn of events for them, but as you mentioned, a lot of wasted time from Minuts. They will be able to mount a push now, though, off the back of that pick, and the Treant will be responding in time with Overgrowth at the ready if they want to make a defense on this bottom lane, but it looks like they'll just find trades elsewhere. EDE has found his level 6 in the top lane. RMN continuing to farm mid lane is still quite a ways away from any big item at this point. Can complete up his treads, but by the tower, they are going to bring down Nicer Dicer with that Thunder God's Wrath. TP in instant Finger of Death, but the Bolt going to bring down EDE as well. Double kill going Necroman's way. And already the Zeus with a lot of burst, and they'll bring down the tier 1 as the space was created further west.
Oh man, the slight travel time there of that Impale killing off the Lion, because the Bolt came out at the exact same time, and well, the Bolt's connected. They went deep for the Drow Ranger. They don't get punished either. I guess the Skywrath Mage gets punished, but Necroman sure as hell does not. He's getting a lot of recovery, and he's going to recover maybe a little bit more with this Hand of Midas that he's going to try to build up. That Thunder God's Wrath also almost killed off the Bat Rider, who was just farming up his jungle. So that could have been even worse for Goomba, even better for BU, but they still get away with the beneficial trade, and now Beaver Knight, with the help of the axe, going to go straight towards Roshan. Ice Armor from the Ogre, claimed by the Troll Warlord, is the Aegis, and he also had that Ogre with him. There's a hell of a lot of neutrals on the side of BU, and that's just a lot of meat that Goomba are going to have to grind through, and it's going to happen really soon, if at all. This tier 1 tower is in danger.
Yeah, and RMN off, much like he was in Game 1, farming by his lonesome. Pretty scared of this Chen army. He doesn't have enough mana to be zipping around enough in these fights to not get hit by a net or a centaur stomp. So it's definitely the right move from them, but it's allowing BU to do exactly what they drafted to do, and that's to gain this early gold advantage by taking down these structures. Already 2 tier 1s going their way, and they're going to look at the mounted defense top. Mystic Flare's been thrown out onto 2. But it's just going to be a glancing blow as the Impale comes through on 2, and they'll be backing up.
That could have been really bad for Come With Me. Walked into 2 heroes when he thought he was walking into only 1. Yet it's still fine because no one actually dies for BU. They take the tower in the end. They're being stalked by a moment, and they have the axe run into the lion, but he's not in a great position right now. He's going to force the axe back, but axe has backup and then some. Moment's going to get called. Here comes Midas. Here comes Come With Me. No, not Requiem. Ultimate from the Sky with Mage just yet. Treant Protector's going to die. But they'll chase forward for Edie. Bolt's going to land. One more right click. Not going to do it. With the stick charges, Lion will survive. But Minot still chasing after more heroes. He's going into a 1v3 though. Probably don't want to go there. He has a nice army, but his centaurs are taking quite a beating. They will lose that one. Walking away just with a casualty on the Treant Protector. And I guess for Goomba, things could have gone again a lot worse. But again, they could have gone a lot better because they're going to lose a tier 1 tower on top of that. BU, they're playing, as you said, the way that their draft is supposed to. They're balling up, and they're getting quite a bit going with it.
Yeah, and when you draft a Treant Protector, you really don't want to be have 3 of your towers down sub 13 minutes in the game. It's not really what the hero is drafted for. The Drow Ranger for Nicer Dicer just not been able to get involved in most of these fights, really afraid of the nets and all the initiation available to BU with the concussive shot of providing the slow to close the distance. Now she will look to build up into her defusal, but already Blink Dagger coming out for Sing Sing, and he'll be able to jump into her face and have a lot of backup when he does so. Blink Dagger available for Saksha's axe as well.
They jump right in onto RMN. Mystic Flare combo. It's so easy. I think they used the seal there. Yeah, they did. It wasn't necessary at all since he was pretty much dead once the flare landed. But Storm Spirit caught blind and was ground up in an instant. So 2 blinks available for BU. They're going to look forward for a moment over in mid, but again a call from Saksha is going to catch 2 this time. They'll miss the call, but they will kill off the lion nonetheless. Now going for a moment. I don't think he has much of a chance here. Sentries on the ground for the Radiant, and a moment's going to juke out of here. It looks like he'll actually be fine. Zeus is the only one who could actually blindly take this kill. Beaver Knight is around with only 1 whirling axe point. Can't really do that much, so it's still a nice little exchange there for BU. They still have this Aegis on Sing Sing. They'll take down a tier 2 tower now. This Chen providing the meat and the rest of the team providing the damage. The initiation is also pretty potent, and this tower is going to go down without much of a fight. Blink Dagger and Batrider just not there yet. But if it was, you could bet Goomba would be itching for a fight. But instead, they're going to have to wait a little bit longer. BU getting away with a whole bunch of pushing, and it's getting them quite a substantial gold lead. However, experience, not as much.
Yeah, the rotations through the jungle and all this pressure applied on the map has really kept Chill down as well. He's nowhere near picking up. He didn't even pick up Trankles, went for the Naked Rush onto his Blink Dagger, and is going to pick that up soon, but doesn't even have his level 2 lasso at the ready. And with all this map control available to BU, he may get picked off at a perfect timing for Burden and a terrible timing for him. He's going to try to Firefly up to the north, jump forward with the melee and the range whirling axes onto him, and he'll be brought down with Minuts and Beaver Knight easily. EDE, no finger available to him. The zip forward, though, will bring Beaver Knight low. That's just an Aegis, though. RMN very low on mana. Should probably look to back off here. The recall from the Chen, though, is going to bring his creep back, and they're not going to look to fight this. Come With Me, wrapping from the south, is a little bit vulnerable to this. The Static Remnant is going to scout him out briefly, and they will look to back off from the side of Goomba. So they get an Aegis pick, but they lose their Batrider right before he actually bought up his Blink Dagger, so...
I think it was just the Firefly killing off the creeps there that gave him that Blink Dagger, so a little bit of a lucky break from the Batrider, but unlucky break for the Drow Ranger. Runs into the axe with the Skywrath Mage, easy Call Flare combo, and Drow Ranger, such a soft hero, even with Power Tread strength, is going to be dropping. So BU take 2 kills, lose the Aegis, but Aegis was going to expire soon anyway, so that was pretty much according to plan. And they take now a secondary tier 2 tower. Only 1 tier 2 tower is left for them to take, and if BU are lucky with this Roshan respawn timer, as soon as they take that, it will respawn. It's going to be 3 minutes, 1, 2, 3. It's going to be a really short, actually, Roshan respawn timer, and BU have got to be so happy about that. The longer this game goes on, the worse their chances look up against this Drow Ranger and control-based lineup for Goomba, but with another Aegis that can respawn and can very easily be taken by BU, the game is once again favoring them.
Yeah, and RMN going for this early Bloodstone as opposed to something a little more snowbally has not really worked out for him. Not that it's been the greatest situation. There's so much initiation to lock him down here with the Ancient Seal and the Blink Daggers available, and he really hasn't been as effective as he was in Game 1 after having a great start in the mid lane. It's very unfortunate for Goomba. They really want their lineup to run off the back of the Storm Spirit here. They will smoke up and look for a pick. That's EDE, Chill, and RMN. Blink Lasso at the ready, yet to be unveiled for Goomba, but they're not going to find anyone home in this Dire jungle.
They'll use the Thunder God's Wrath. BU will to secure the kill on Treant Protector. It will also reveal to them that everyone else in Goomba's up on top side, so if they're all up on top, then BU are going to go all down bottom, and they'll take this tower. A moment at the wrong place at the wrong time, and just with an overkill of damage there from BU. The smoke is going to be unsuccessful for Goomba. They'll take down a tier 1 tower, but I don't think they could outrace the army of BU. There are creeps here, so there are real creeps here, so there's no backdoor protection for this tower, and this tower is going to drop. It's going to drop so quickly, in fact, and because Goomba are so far away that BU are probably going to touch the high ground and just see what they can get there. See if they can force some TPs back and force the hand of Goomba. If they find themselves with somehow good fighting initiation, then they'll go for the high ground, but otherwise, man, they take all the tier 2 towers, and Roshan is going to respawn very, very shortly as well, so BU, the hardest part of this game is going to be breaching high ground. They're going to have to land a Call Mystic Flare on, I think, like the Drow Ranger or the Storm Spirit if they're going to actually do that.
I mean, the thing is, though, they have this Zeus, so other than the Storm Spirit, they can deny all initiation as they walk up the hill with that Thunder God's Wrath. So look for them to reset, grab an Aegis at some point, as you mentioned, and look to walk right up the high ground. No BKB coming out anytime soon for the Blink Dagger wielders for the side of Goomba. Batrider very poor right now. No even Bloodstone up on the Storm Spirit yet.
Yeah, he's still a couple of components away from that one. Drow Ranger has her Yasha, which is all well and good, but it's just not good enough. A moment is on the scouting run right now. Invisible Treant Protector is going to be spotted, or at least the positioning will. Pings from everyone. Sing Sing's going to jump in. They have some True Sight with the Lightning Bolts. Do they have enough? It looks like they do to kill him off. That was a True Sightless kill on that Treant Protector because Zeus does give you that utility. And with the Treant down for another 20 seconds, with BKB just picked up on Beaver Knight, well, BU don't really have a huge opening to do much of anything, but hey, Roshan's going to be up in 45 seconds. Would you look at that? They also have maybe the same Frost Mage, maybe a different one, waiting in the wings. They're going to blink forward for call onto Chill. Batrider should not be getting blinked upon like that. They'll kill off the Batrider, and RMN can do nothing but ball lightning away. Now that the Batrider is down for 37 seconds, BU have so much flexibility to do anything they want around this map, and it's soon enough going to be that Roshan. Goomba are getting picked apart.
Yeah, and they're just being choked out from their side of the map. The vision is very offensive from the side of BU, and they're keeping a diligent watch on Roshan with this Ogre Frost Mage as well. And the pick-off-oriented lineup from Goomba, really, they just had too much pressure applied to them early on, weren't able to ever find opportune advantages. Moment is going to get caught out bottom lane. He's going to go for the Overgrowth, but he'll be called up. And EDE probably needs to just back off. The Drow Ranger going to bring down Minuts, though, from the side with the Gust. She'll try to TP out. No call available, but the net is there. And now Nicer Dicer going to feed his life over for a Chen. Certainly not the trade you're looking for if you're Goomba.
That was such an... that was pretty clearly bait from the Chen, I want to say. He was there all alone with his army. And if there's ever a Chen that's all alone, well, it's probably not going to be just a Chen. It's going to be a lot of other heroes as well. Not really the cleanest engage there from BU, even after laying down that trap. But still, it's a trade that they'll be more than happy to make, especially since the heroes that are crucial to them killing off Roshan, i.e. Sing Sing, still alive and will go straight for that Aegis. Goomba, they are way too far away to do anything about this. Despite having a Batrider and a Storm Spirit, all stars in the Roche Pit are going to have to sacrifice this one to the Troll Warlord. So now Sing Sing can go in and just do whatever the hell he wants in those fights. Here's the high ground push for BU. The Chen army, what's it looking like? I think you just recalled them. There it is. Okay, so it's 2 Trolls and a Hellbear. That's fine for Minuts. He would like to craft that a little bit more ideally, but BU, this is the time to push. This is when they're at their strongest.
Yeah, and there's no vision for anyone from the side of Goomba, really. They have the Cliff Ward here available defensively, but up in that lane, they're not going to really be able to pick anyone off unless they overextend. far beyond their team's reach. So I feel like BU, it's just a matter of time before they break base here, and there's really nothing on the side convincing enough of Goomba that they can hold high ground.
They're going to need their Batrider to make some kingly initiation. Storm Spirit also has to get to the back line and tear some people up, but Beaver Knight with the Chen army, or what's left of the Chen army rather, just going to go to work on that tier 3 tower. There's the Blink Lasso. Sing Sing going to get pulled back into the enemy base, but this is what the Aegis is for. He's very quickly going to lose it, however. They get the Yules onto our men, bolt him down as well as Thunder God's Wrath, but he's still alive even through the Mystic Flare. Sing Sing has got to get the hell out of here. He has the BKB, but he can't pop it. Finger of Death will kill him off. Hand of God or not. And it's a disastrous initiation there for BU. They have to fall back for a minute. That Aegis didn't do anything because they just whiffed their follow-up after that Batrider Lasso. So Goomba hold their high ground very, very easily as well.
Yeah, a little bit odd coming out from BU. They use Sing Sing as the battering ram, and the call whiffs on the initiation coming out from the Batrider. And I guess they make me bite my words. Their successful high ground defense coming out, Aegis and a kill going their way, and that's going to delay BU up quite a bit and allow them to farm up a little on their cores. Only about 1,300 gold for a moment till he picks up his Ags, and then they maybe can deny some of this map choking, some of the vision established by BU.
Until that happens, they're on the hunt right now for someone in the top jungle. That's not going to happen. Most of the heroes from BU are down towards bottom. And Goomba, oh no, Nicer Dicer, are you in trouble right now? Come with me, seize him, instantly going to pivot around and go for this Drow kill. He's currently all alone, but running up to the north should be fine, maybe. They see Chill, or Chill sees Mina to come with me. Although, you don't really want to jump in there, Chill. Bad idea. Bolt, Mystic Flare. He's going to survive for a lot longer, and he will get the kill on Skywrath Mage in the end. But now Sing Sing has arrived, going to go straight for the Drow Ranger, who can do nothing but turn and run. Mina's going to fight up against our men, who's taking a lot of hits, but Storm Spirit is going to get out of there safe and sound. Nicer Dicer still alive for right now, but not really for much longer. Living Armor is there. Culling Blade will go right through that, though, and they also bolt down Edie at the exact same time. Thunder God's Wrath. Our man's still alive, but Sing Sing is as well as on the chase, looking for a call. They will commit suicide with the Storm Spirit. 9 Bloodstone charges. He'll be back soon enough, but Lion's going to buy back into a Hornet's Nest. He gets the call out, but will that even save him? Beaver Knight looking for another blink in. However, Edie has a blink dagger. He'll blink out, as everyone else in BU also going to make their retreat, forcing out buybacks and then so. However, Armen, he's not done yet. He's going to ball lightning forward, get the pullback onto the axe. Has a gem. He's going to try to straight TP out. Edie, though, should have a stun, and he does. It's a gem in favor of Goomba now, as BU take a massively chaotic fight, force a lot of buybacks, which I suppose is very nice. It's one in the Lion, one in the Drow, and it seems like that's about it.
Yeah.
But was that good enough? Was it worth it?
I don't feel like those return kills were enough to make the Drow buyback worth it. I understand EDE's buyback for certain, but this is going to set the Drow's farm back quite a while. And just with the S and Y treads at this point, she's really not looking very scary, especially considering when she's level 14, which is underneath the entire Tricore of BU at this point. BU just looking to force buybacks and back out, unfortunately, was a little bit of a sloppy retreat from them, and the axe does die on the way out.
And that's going to give away the gem, but still, they do end up killing off the Drow Ranger and forcing out her buyback. Sanjanyasha, though, up on the Drow Ranger is not really going to be enough, since the Sing Sing Troll Warlord is going to be probably looking at Sanjanyasha himself very shortly. So no huge item advantage for the Drow Ranger there, and she's still very far behind the Troll Warlord in the farm race. 3,000 gold behind, in fact. So for Goomba, they still haven't lost any structures, and I think that's really the bare minimum that they should be happy with. But BU, they're still taking fantastic fight after fantastic fight, and these bat initiations so far just haven't really been working out as well as Goomba really need them to. Our man's still surviving. He's still tearing things up as the Storm Spirit, but man, he's just not doing enough. He just needs someone else to do something else for his team, but it just seems like they just can't. BU, they're just way too tanky.
Yeah, and he has very little control available to him as well. No Orchid, no Scythe of Vice anywhere near in sight for him. Has been doing, certainly, as you mentioned, an admirable job, as has EDE's Lion with the Blink Dagger available to him, but just not quite enough to overwhelm the side of BU. Just so many targets that need to be taken down. The Skywrath, the Zeus, the Troll, the Axe, they're all targets that need to be killed. If Chen dies, it's not the biggest deal because he's still got his army, but either way, it's been really tough for them to burst down these targets from BU. Zeus has been positioned really well in the backlines, just throwing in his Thunder God's Wrath, which is an Aghanim's ult at this point, and it's doing a lot of work, especially with that Yule's available to him as well. Not the ideal target.
Yeah, Necroman had a disastrous start, but he's recovered and then some. This Hand of Might is still ticking away, and, well, now is about the time when, as a Zeus, you want to be going for a Refresh Orb. He has mana to refresh his ultimate, and, well, that'll help the team quite a bit. That double ulti, I think, close to 1-hit kill, or I guess 2-hit kill range on the Lion. Maybe not as much on anyone else, but it's still a hell of a lot of damage, especially if you get someone sealed up by the Skywrath Mage. So for Goomba, they don't have an Aegis just yet. Their Chen army looking a little bit weak with just 2 Trolls. So can grab a couple more creeps there, but they'll look forward for Chill, who's going to lasso TP. That's, I suppose, a way of getting out of there. It doesn't cost Sing Sing anything, though, so he's completely okay with that.
Yeah,
But,
pretty smart play from Chill, but either way, really scary that it looked like 4 or 5 chops of Sing Sing's axe, and he was going to die there. Sitting at level 11 right now, on par with all the supports in the game. It's been a rough go for Chill in this one.
Yeah, and he's not close to his Force Staff either. I mean, he's not that far away, but he really needs to get some cleaner initiation. Really, the only reason last initiation worked was because the axe was a little bit late on his call. He needs to be able to pull, ideally Sing Sing, although Necroman also looking pretty appealing, out of that position and get them into kill range. They'll lose the Tree and Protector up towards top. Gem looks like that wasn't even there. It was just with the Thunder God's Wrath Vision that they get the kill on the tree. This Zeus utility, I don't want to say it's more of the reason that they pick up Zeus as opposed to other heroes, but man, he does damage. He gives you this very unique utility as well. Zeus just does it all. It's going to be nice for BU, but it won't really help them breach the high ground. Roshan, however, is going to be... Did I read that right? Was that 327? Was that an even shorter Roshan respawn than the last time?
I believe it was really playing into the hand of this Death Ball, and unfortunate for Goomba to say the least. We thought that the Tree and Protector, with the vision provided by Nature's Guise, which is currently maxed out, would be the hunter, but yeah, he turns out to be the hunted up against this Zeus, and it seems like every time they've used that Thunder God's Wrath, it netted a kill on a moment.
And with no other True Sight, like they have sentries now on my nuts, but every single time they've killed off that tree, it's just been with the Zeus True Sight, and that just has got to suck from the Tree and Protector. He's still going to be invisible now, backing up Armen, who's still holding onto that gem, and he's not going to give that one up without a fight, but really for BU, they're getting a lot of farm on Sing Sing in the meantime. Sanj is very close to being completed for him if he does want to complete up that item, but if not, he still has a random wolf, not even the alpha wolf, just the small one, in the Roche pit, and they will keep tabs on that, so it's just, I think, farm up until they have the Aegis, and then try to go for that push again, and hopefully for BU's sake, it'll go a lot better than last time, but Goomba, this is actually some pretty sweet farm time for them.
Yeah, and BU, though, occupying the opponent's jungle. They've got deep vision, both in the Radiant jungle and on the cliff here. Mid lane, Chen's creeps are going to take quite a bit of damage from RMN. He'll get a little bit of an extra farm going his way. 3,400 gold on the Storm Pit, but a jump call. Mystic Flare is there as well. They're going to look for the lasso. They're not going to find it. Thunder God's Wrath, nail in the coffin for RMN, holding on to a bunch of gold there. He's going to go down, but not down for too long. Had 9 Bloodstone charges at the time.
Didn't he have a gem? Where's the gem? Like, I thought it was just, like, blocked by the trees.
Looks like EDE's holding it.
Okay, so they shifted over to the Lion. That was actually pretty fortunate that they did that, because a gem on BU would have made the Tree and Protector's life absolutely hell now. It's like, oh, great, you have an Aghanim Scepter for those eyes? Well, too bad it doesn't do anything up against this True Sight. And Minuts is already starting to set up some sentries, so BU get a really nice pick off there on the Storm Spirit, showing off their burst power again through the Storm Spirit's Bloodstone. Still, Roshan isn't up yet, so it's just a pick-off, but still, their lead is substantial. 12k, 10k in the gold and experience, respectively. And they're making sure that Goomba are going to struggle to defend Roshan if it does respawn soon. Sing Sing's pushing up top, with Rattata pushing down bottom. And Goomba, they need to send some people to deal with this. And when they're dealing with that, they're not at the Roshan pit.
Yeah, it looks like a moment starting to set up some eyes here, slowly but surely. It's going to be perhaps a little bit too little too late. Hopefully it nets them a couple of kills for their sake. But either way, it seems like BU's playing very safe, always in tandems of 2 or more. And it doesn't look like any of them are too vulnerable at this point. Probably just waiting on Roshan. They got a giant wolf in the pit, and he will be up shortly.
All right, and BU, they're going to be ready for that. However, Goomba will know about this as well. Unless this giant wolf is able to kill off this tree illusion. This is the fight of the century, guys.
Epic battle.
Over in the meantime, this is fight brewing the dire jungle. Beaver Knight will jump right in. They see everyone with Thunder God's Wrath, especially a moment who gets the overgrowth off, but Tree and Protector is going to die anyway. Gem now on the deck. Lion was holding on to that one. Not for much longer, however. That's a very easy 2-kill for Goomba. Who's winning this fight? It's the Tree Illusion. Giant Wolf conceded. He's not even fighting back. Oh man, what a fight. That should not be legal. Call PETA or something. But they're going to go for the Roshan. And with 2 heroes down, Goomba can't do anything about this.
Yeah, Beaver Knight, Sing Sing just going to be in the pit by his lonesome. And yeah, with the 2 supports down, Goomba really don't have much to say about this Roshan attempt. Still with the tier 1 available for the Dire side in the offlane. They can bring everyone back to this pit and look to go high ground shortly hereafter.
Well, they're just constantly throwing out their bolts, looking for vision, looking for random invisible heroes from Goomba. But all the Goomba heroes are in their base. So BKB on the Axe, plus an Aegis on the Troll Warlord. Okay, last time I said was go time, and this time is really go time for BU. They can only afford to do this for so many times before Goomba eventually get to a similar farm state as BU. But they're going to go right down the mid lane once again. Actually, they catch Chill. I don't think he's TPing out. No, he's going to get right up to the high ground and then straight TP out. Thunder God's Wrath won't kill him off there, so they have to let that Bat Rider go, but they won't let a moment go. At least they'll try not to. Edie's going to blink right into the Whirling Axe to slow down. Mystic Flare is there as well, but Arman jumps, runs, come with me, will kill him off in an instant. Scarf Mage does pull off the line, making even 1-for-1 trade. Now Arman in a little bit of trouble, has the ball landing up to the high ground, goes back down low. Thunder God's Wrath will be dodged by Arman. He's still surviving, but not for long. He will lose his life. 40 seconds on the sidelines. The Axe does arrive. They'll go straight for Chill. Beaver Knight's still very much so alive. Will go to town on that bat. Now they see Nicer Dicer looking for him as well. Looking for that Blink Dagger or a Force Staff. Axe without any more ability items, but Beaver Knight's right on the tail of this Drive Ranger with that Mantis style movement speed. He will back off for now as Armen's going to buy right out. Plus the Bat Rider's there as well. BU unwilling to actually fight this. They should be backing off right now as they're very, very weak. But they force out 2 buybacks. They still hold control of this Aegis. And by all definitions, with a 3-for-1, with 2 buybacks forced out, BU take a nice victory. They'd have to reset, reload, and go for that exact same play again.
Yeah, and it looks like they'll be a lot more successful next time. They were underneath the Eye in the Forest here and got 3-man overgrowth. That's the only reason Arman even survived as long as he did. He had enough for his BKB prior to buying back there, and we'll have enough fairly soon. But either way, didn't have it for that fight, and Arman once again dropping low. He was really the only one even prolonging the team fight for Goomba. Everyone else getting chopped down real early. EDE trying to save the Bat Rider. Chill dying anyways shortly thereafter.
Oh no, a moment. He's going to run to the exact same place that he died last time. This time, there's a gem on the Axe. They don't even need the Zeus True Sight to get that kill. Trained down for another 37 seconds. Pretty sure all he wanted was to put some eyes up. But unfortunately, you can't, because this is BU's half of the map. You just can't walk in there and just do that. So BU, they're pretty much reset and reloaded right now. They have Hand of God waiting to cool down, but they actually see Arman plus a Courier. Sing Sing on the hunt, gonna snag the Courier in 1 hit, and then look for the kill. He's all alone, however. If he does get into a fight right now, there are more Goomba heroes that can reinforce, and, well, Sing Sing's all alone. Nice little hidey hole here. They will get perfect vision with that Thunder God's Wrath, and everyone's gonna be A-okay. It's just a Courier snipe for BU, but hey, more gold, never a bad thing. And they're also going to mobilize once again for this mid lane push.
Yeah, more gold, definitely very nice, considering that Minuts is only 70 gold away from his full Aghanims at this point, and that'll make the push twice as deadly as it is currently if they're able to get that Granite Golem or up. They still have the Aegis though, so why not go high ground here? Come with me, gonna join the fray very soon up the mid lane, and they will just jump up on the high ground with this Chena army. Jump forward though, Lasso is gonna get instantly called by Chill. Hex onto Bratata as well. Impale through to Bratata, dropping low. The Finger of Death will bring him down. He's the first casualty of the fight. RMN able to back out. Necroman though with the refresh Thunder God's Wrath brings down the Storm Spirit, and everyone else fairly low as well. Gem on the deck going to be grabbed up by Necroman. Buyback from the Axe. They're going to look to continue this push here. Glyph going to be popped. Storm Spirit down for 45 seconds with no buyback. Jump forward. Eul's Scepter going to be used onto Dicer. He'll get his BKB off the Gust as well. Going to look to man up onto Beaver Knight, but Sing Sing going to manta up and look to continue fighting. Hex goes out. Chill going to have to back off. Beaver Knight actually going to be dropped. It's just the Aegis though, and now Dicer needs to get the hell out of here. He gets nuked down by Necroman, but not quite enough. The dunk going to be enough to bring down the Lion in a moment. Trying to run away as well with the Living Growth. The dunk's going to be a little early from Bratata, but meanwhile, the structures are being brought down by the rest of BU, and that's a lane of Rax going their way. And they'll even finish off Chill for good measure.
And now Beaver Knight with backup Necroman going to force Nicer Dicer out of this lane. or out of his pace even. Like, the Drow Ranger's going to chase forward for more, but they already bought back on most of the heroes that had it. They're going to chase forward for more, but this is just a trap that BU are waiting to spring. Nicer suddenly surrounded with the BKB troll right in his face. Maybe some true sight or some armor is going to help him out, but not really enough. Overgrowth is there. Beaver Knight Mantis style is now going to be popped. Necroman dropping pretty low. Arman doing his best to try to get on top of the Zeus, but it just doesn't seem like it's good enough, especially when the bashes come through. And the Storm is going to die again. They also have vision of this tree. Where did he go? There he is, off to the top side. Call's going to miss, but they have True Sight here. And the moment is going to die as well. No more buybacks here on Goomba. Somehow the Drow Ranger survives because of that invis, but they don't get anything in response. Now BU are just going to go right back in, knowing that they got so many extra bonus kills. I mean, Goomba, they should have been fine with losing their melee racks there. Chasing forward for that might have just lost them the game, whereas otherwise they could have held, maybe not won the game afterwards, but held to maybe try again in the future. Now it's going to be probably 2 sets of racks, as Batrider does have his lasso up. Drow Ranger, we could see, is clearly doing a lot of damage, but not really comparable to this destruction power of BU, as the racks are dropping Necroman. That ultimate is going to deny the Blink Dagger of the Bat for a little while longer, not to mention rough him up. That'll give the team just enough time to clear out melee and then get out scot-free. This should be no casualties here from BU. Lion's going to teleport in. He does have a Blink Dagger. They're going to lose their Satyr. Oh no. What a disaster. But they're going to actually look to reinitiate. Maybe Goomba, once again, overstepping their bounds. Sing Sing? No, he's not going to make the jump in, nor is Bradada. It's 1.5 sets of Raxes for the BU side. No Aegis left on them, but a hell of a lot of gold off of that fight.
A lot of experience showing here from BU. They know exactly when to look for overextensions and when to back out. The Treant respawning as well as the Storm. Right after they bring down that melee racks, they back out knowing that they got what they need to. 1.5 lanes, and they get the more important racks bottom as well. And they'll just look to back out, play conservatively, be safe, look for an overextension from the side of Goomba, and they're staying pretty tightly wound together. Arman going to jump forward into a lot of trouble. He'll be able to BKB up, though. Hand of God is going to keep Zeus safe under the Yules as well, but the Impale will be there, and it looks like BU just going to sack Necroman for now. Looks like a 9-second BKB charge for a Zeus at this point.
And BU going to look to reinitiate. Even being a man down, they'll find ED, silence him, and do him in an instant. They also catch up with the RMN. The Cull's going to miss. He doesn't have that much mana, however. He's going to die, commit suicide as Nicer trying to TP away. No bashes there from Sing Sing. It's overall 2-for-1 in favor of BU. And that Zeus, though that death was kind of out there, and BU should have been okay with that. They know that with Sing Sing, they could fight and take some extremely great fights as well. They're going to push right down the bottom lane just to take this range Rax. I guess it's nice to have, although it probably was going to die anyway. And with Goomba's heroes being down, there's no way that they defend this. There's no point for them to even try. But they'll do this one in very shortly, and then maybe look for the last lane of Raxes up towards top. Roshan respawn, currently unknown to us. Wasn't paying attention to the timer this time, but are they really just going to slide up to top lane in the enemy base and go for the kill that way? Seems a little bit risky being Zeus down. But BU, either way, there's still 2 Raxes ahead. And so, yeah, they're going to back off for right now. There's even a DD rune in the North River. This game is looking really hard for Goomba to come back from.
Yeah, a moment jumping over to the pit, throwing some vision out there for the Radiant side as well. So maybe that is the last glimmer of hope for them, is to contest this next Roshan, deny the Aegis from the Dire side. Surely if the Aegis is given over to BU, it only seems like a matter of time before Goomba going to fall in this best of 3.
Oh, Minot's going to start with the real Chen army now. Going to get the heavy hitters. That Granite Golem aura is so balanced, especially when Sing Sing is already sitting at 2800 HP, Axe is at 2100. Yeah, these heroes are going to be damn difficult for Goomba to kill, and hell, even Zeus, he's at 1900 HP. He's been the target of focus most of the time. With that aura, he'll be so much more difficult to bring down, not to mention the fact that Chen also has that reduced cooldown to Hand of God, plus now has a fresh Vlad, so extra lifesteal for the Troll Warlord, not to mention the armor and damage that comes with. It's going to be another short Roshan respawn. Centaur's chilling there, traveling in. Zeus, you probably can't do this by yourself. He'll just try to get some vision off the board for Goomba. But yeah, Goomba with 2 Raxes down, it's going to be so difficult for them to actually contest this. Their Storm Spirit's so far away, and Sing Sing is right around the corner of this Roshan pit.
Yeah, easy solo for the troll here. I believe this Aegis and Cheese might be the third Roche here, so they'll have both of those at their disposal. Necroman definitely can pick up the Cheese here. He's got the Refresher available on top of his Ags. Arman gonna jump in with the BKB though, looking to snatch this up. He gets called though. Thunder God's Wrath gonna keep everyone else back from initiating RMN. Gonna go down, and the Aegis goes to Necroman. Cheese on the deck still, and now this is looking like GG territory, and certainly is. Nicer Dice are gonna call it here. Burden United saving your Bugattis in game 2. 40-minute win for them.
Also, in that last kind of fight, it was a ballsy move by the Storm Spirit. It's kind of a play that you have to make when you're that far behind. The Lion was 100-0'd by that double Zeus ultimate, so yeah, that's like for ED the least fun thing to happen. There's nothing you could do about that except for buy a cloak and bracers and hope that's enough. But for BU, they still stay in the Yard G2A Festival. They're going to be moving on to round 2. Goomba are out, guys. So sorry for everyone in the chat who is rooting for the German team to win. They're now out. And we are going to moving on to another game, guys. XPC versus BU. Other BU is going to be coming up very shortly, guys. So don't go anywhere. Here on the Yardfest Hitbox channel. It's been a pleasure casting for you. I'm Mikelorus. You can find me on Twitter at Mikelorus. You can find my co-caster, MRP Dota, at MRP_Dota. It's all in the title underneath the stream, so just follow us on Twitter there. But we'll just be right back, guys, for the second series of the day. Second and last series of the day.